So it's day 5 here at Brooks Airfield. We have the Cougar out here, and we're gonna see if it's gonna start. What do you think, guys? Percentage of starting?
100%. 75.
92.
I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna give it 100%, and I don't even think they're gonna crank long. I bet you they fire right up. Do we have a fire extinguisher? All right, we're good to go. Clear prop. We paid $30,950 for this Cougar, and in today's market, we think we can sell it for $110,000. We're hoping to make a $20,000 profit on it, giving us a budget of $59,000. Now, $59,000 may sound like a big budget, but we need to fix 2 engines, find 2 new propellers, and install new avionics. That also gives us about 5 days to get this project done and flying again. During the first 4 days of this rescue, we spent $45,445 in parts and labor. That means we already blew through most of our budget, only leaving us with $13,555, and we still have a lot to get done.
That was us. That was our side.
Yeah.
All right, so the left engine fired up. Well, after I turned the fuel on, the left engine fired up pretty easily, and it's charging. However, I think our battery, because it sat for so long, it's just weak. So we're gonna throw another battery in, and we're gonna try to get that right engine spinning up.
Nice fresh oil circulation. Good shape. Alright, so along with the other side not wanting to start because the battery is weak, this side unfortunately was not actually showing oil pressure, but it sounded too good not to have it, which basically there's some avionics stuff going on, so that's obviously where the issue is, so I have to get that figured out as well.
All right, so we got the battery all changed out for another battery, and we went ahead and we checked to make sure that we had all oil and all the pressure, all the oil lines and everything on the left engine. It's good to go. Had some temp in the oil as well. So hopefully with a battery change, this thing will crank over fast enough to start. We also went ahead, checked the left engine, made sure all the lines are now full with oil, and it's good to go. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna try to get this right engine started. Clear prop. Yeah! All right, she fired right up. She's running good. We got good oil pressure, good fuel pressure. All right, see if these props work. All right, left prop works. See if the right prop works. All right. Everything's working. Both alternators are charging. The heaters are off, master is off.
How's it feel?
It feels good. It feels good. I was getting a little bit worried there with Joe and his 75%. I was like, Joe's gonna win. So no, everything went well. I think so. This has perfect oil pressure, perfect fuel pressure, and I figured out why we don't have oil pressure over there.
Okay.
The hoses are hooked to the wrong sensor.
Okay.
Because it's got crazy fuel pressure over on the left side. I was getting a little worried there for a minute. I'm not seeing the pressures that I wanted on the oil pressure here. So we're gonna check a couple things, fire it up again, and then go ahead and do our mag check. After doing some investigating, we found a loose connection on the oil pressure sensor. A few quick adjustments and it was good to go. This is a 1993 Mustang LX convertible special edition. They only built 1,503 of these, and you can win it on rebuildrescue.com. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna see what static RPM is. We made some adjustments because I wasn't getting oil pressure, was getting fuel pressure. We knew it had oil pressure though, but there was a whole bunch of stuff cut back in here. So we're gonna go ahead and fire it up. I'm gonna make sure that we got oil pressure, fuel pressure, and we're also gonna do a mag check. Clear prop. Clear prop. All right, so we're gonna run it up and we're gonna do a full static run. That's perfect. Alternator charging, we have good oil temp. You know, if you have the mixture all the way up, it runs a lot better. All right, so that checked out perfect. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna check the right side. All right, it's charging. We got good fuel pressure, and we got good oil pressure, and it's got some oil temp. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna run it up to 1700. I'm gonna do a mag check and make sure our mags are good. First, I'm gonna go ahead and see if the prop works, prop governor's working. Right mag. Left mag. So we got a little hiccup there when I shut the left mag off. Good oil pressure on both, good fuel pressure on both, charging on both, oil temp, cylinder is looking good. We do know this one's on hook. We're going to hook that back up, so everything is good. How much is leaking?
Just a drop.
So we found a little fluid coming from somewhere around the engine. We weren't quite sure where it was coming from, but more on that later. Brian, do you want to hop in here and fire this up and go through checking everything and stuff? Kind of a peace of mind thing. All right.
Should be good.
Brian hopped in the Cougar. He's going to go ahead. He's going to check everything out. We're going to double check, triple check, and quadruple check everything. So everything's looking good. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, heats. Yeah, everything's good. I'm actually a little surprised. It is day 5. We still have a ton of work to do. So. everything looked good and felt good.
Yeah, definitely a lot of power.
Yeah.
Doing 2,400.
It does.
2,600.
Yeah, I was really surprised. So you think that little bit of a mag stumble was just rich?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna race for pink slip, Sam. All right, so we got the Cougar back in the hangar here. Now we got to go ahead. We got to get a compression test done. It'll be a great time to do it because the engines are a little cooled down, but they're not cold. So go ahead, we'll get a compression test done. And really, because we had these all apart, we already have all of the annual stuff done from the firewall forward other than the compression test. The question is, what kind of compressions are we going to see?
100% good.
100% good. I love it. I like Brian's numbers. He's 100% good so far. He's been 100% right. What do you guys think? What's our compression numbers over here in the right engine?
Between 72 and 6.
72 and 76 or 6?
Between 72 and 76.
All right, all right. We don't
I
want.
need to clarify.
We don't want any that are 6.
No.
0.
No.
We
In
want
the
0
70s,
6s.
we got a 2 and a 6, both in the 70s.
Obviously, if you have a 6, that's really bad. 70s, really good. So I'm hoping for 60 to 70s. If they are 60s, no variation within a percentage that would call for a bad cylinder. So I think they're good. It had plenty of power, so I think we're going to be good to go.
What's the lowest cylinder going to be and what's the highest cylinder going to be?
Between both engines, I'm going to say the lowest cylinder is going to be 67.
And the high?
The highest would be the 76.
Okay.
All right, lowest 67, highest 76.
Yeah.
Nice, so it's like a 10% variation. All right, so after we get those done then, we're gonna have to go under here. We'll have to remove all the inspection plates that are on both sides of the wing. We have to swing the gear. We have to not get hit by the prop. We gotta get back here. We have to pull these pieces off and we gotta pull the cone off and inspect the whole tail section. And then we have to pull some of the interior out and inspect some of that. We also gotta go ahead, we have to inspect all the flight controls, all the normal stuff that we check even before you like fly. We're gonna make sure all the beacons, all the lights work. And after that, we gotta get those avionics in.
Yeah, do a little more tire wrapping. Well, he's close. 75 on this one.
Nice.
All right. You got it? Oh, here you go. Okay.
Was up at 60.
It's holding about 59 though.
Yeah.
We'll take 59. It's still not bad. It may come back too after time, over time.
Yeah.
By the time
need-
it's Pennsylvania.
Might need ran a little bit, yeah.
For sitting for 3 years, that's not bad.
Yeah, I would, my guess would be fly it back to PA, back to the rescue hangar. We'll get 5 PSI more, get, if there's any carbon that's sitting underneath those valves and stuff, we'll go ahead and burn that right off. Fly inverted for a little bit, that usually shakes it off. Do some,
No, we'll cut that.
yeah, wash as you can, yeah.
You get a little bit of oxidation on the seats and stuff.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, 69.
So that's actually some pretty good numbers. We got 75 over 80 on 2, 59 over 80 on 4, 61 over 80 on 1, and 69 over 70 on cylinder number 3.
69. $50. Gone.
All right, so 51, that's a little bit on the lower side. We can hear a little bit of pressure coming out of the crankcase area, so which would mean rings probably got used to not running.
Yeah, they're just dry and they're setting it.
Yeah, need some heat in it.
There it is. 72.
72.
We had 75. So.
75 over 80. All right, so on the right engine, we got cylinder 2, 69 over 80. Cylinder 4, 51 over 80, 1, 72 over 80, and 3, 75 over 80. So we did pull the oil fill cap, and you could hear it down inside the crankcase, which would mean we got a little bit of compression in cylinder number 4 coming down past the rings. It's not like unusual for something that sits. This has been sitting for 3 or 4 years or something. So when they sit that long, those rings kind of get dry, and I'm sure once we run this for a while, the compressions are going to come up, especially in those cylinders that are a little more weak. What I would get worried about is if it was more of a valve leak, which these aren't. So they'll be good to go.
Yeah, the static wick it's looking a little sick.
How's everything looking?
Okay, I found a loose wire down there on the, I think it's a fuel sender maybe.
Stealing someone's muffin, but today I'm gonna have clean hands when I eat it.
I was just sharing with Jason here, the first step here is clean the aircraft. I think this is basically for allowing you to see if there's any issues going on, but it's just kind of funny that it says clean aircraft because, you know, we got a lot of bird issues going on in this hangar.
Avionics actually came in clutch. I gave them a call. Kelly, Keith, everybody out there at Avionics, they're so cool. Told them that we were coming on this rescue, and they said, well, I think we need to give you some rescue tools. We have a 440 we're gonna put in, and we have a AXP 340 transponder. So that's all we need for VFR. So we're gonna go ahead and figure out how we can get it wired up in the Cougar. And I think I have a way to get that done.
So this right here is the whole list for the airframe.
Okay.
It's not very long.
That's it?
But there's a lot of stuff that's combined. Like right here, aircraft structure is one line. So it covers all the structure in one line.
So look at the whole structure.
So yeah, the inboard wing spars, fuselage attached, landing gear attachments, appendage attachments. So basically it's the whole, all the attach points, all the structures, spars, everything, all in that one line item. Actually, we just completed it with the compression. So in doing the engines, we actually had 95% of that complete, which was just lacking the compressions, which we just did.
Yeah, so we're done.
The power plant,
and that's like the biggest section.
Yeah, that's the biggest section. So we need to look at more of the fuel system in the airframe.
Yeah.
And basic power plant is completed. I know we'll do another, final look at everything before we button everything up, as far as cowlings, make sure there's nothing that's rubbing. But really focus on the airframe.
Cougars are known to have landing gear, swing, pump issues. Not so much the gear, but the pump. So we'll make sure that's nice and healthy, make sure there's no leaks, make sure the switches are good, the wiring's good, and then move on to the control system.
Yep.
And I believe, so you and Brian are gonna be doing that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be figuring out how to get these avionics in there.
Okay.
So we get the jacks all in place on the Cougar, and we're really digging into the inspection. Obviously, the power plants are already done. We will go over them again another time, but we did go over them after running them, and we had 0 leaks of fuel or oil. Everything seems to be really good. The guys are jumping in right now on the annual. They got the inspection plates down under the wing, and Brian's jumping in on the brakes because the brakes were a little bit soft. Okay, they were really soft. We have to get those bled. Just check them out, make sure they're good. But meanwhile, I'm gonna get in and start working on the avionics. So I'm a little bit worried about it, but I got some help from somebody a few days ago.
Jason Morrison.
What's what's happening, Ron? How are you, brother? So I shot you a text this morning. We got a little bit of a dilemma here. We're here with the Cougar in Michigan, trying to rescue it, and I thought these harnesses were just removed and not cut, but it looks like the harnesses behind the panel in this Cougar, like they're not only cut, like there's sections gone. So, and we have that. So we have the 440 and the Avidyne, the Avidyne 440. We got the transponder, and we have the the audio panel as well. And I thought I was going to be able to wire it up with the stuff that's here. I'm not going to be able to do it, and I'm just hoping you can help us somehow. I know it's a little bit late notification. We're planning on flying it back this week. We only have like 5 days here, so I need I don't know if you can do a harness or I know it's a lot, but
yeah, we're a little tight on the schedule right now, but we should definitely be able to help you out. So I know the equipment list you just mentioned to me, and this is basically going to be like a rescue rig. You're going to have a portable, throw it in there, and have it install it there on site.
Yeah. We will install it, do 337s and everything, but I don't think it's going to be the ones that, what's going to stay in here, but it's definitely going to be like a complete installation as far as, VFR flight.
Right. Yeah, we are up for the challenge. I'll definitely help you out. I like your motive.
Sweet. Awesome. That sounds so good. So, I'll shoot you an email, give you all the equipment list, and I'll shoot you some pictures of what we're dealing with here. If I could get it, and we're not going to get on this, probably for like another 3 days yet. So, if you could get that done that quick, I know you're good. So, they don't call you Sparky for anything. Hopefully you can get something wired up. We can get it in here and get this thing back home.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Josh, what are you looking for?
Looking for any cracked hoses, chafed hoses, rub marks on any moving parts.
How's it looking?
So it's looking pretty good overall. I found a couple little spots of it's definitely surface corrosion. There's nothing going in and eating away metal, but a couple areas that need some little cleanup and some corrosion prevention inhibitor.
Where were they at?
They were up in the landing gear willow. Yeah. So that's a little bit of evidence from our runway
Excursion, right?
Yeah.
So we got landing light pieces that were up in the wheel well.
Taxi. I guess it would be taxi.
Yeah, taxi lights. So
Yeah.
that's what that right prop hit. Did you find it on the right side or the left side?
It was actually the left side.
Interesting.
Yep.
So that engine's blade hit it, and it ended up in the wheel well over there. We just got our package a few minutes ago from Ron Nelson, Sparky, at Nelson Aviation, and he hooked us up with a whole bunch of really cool stuff here. So this is really going to save this rescue, because there was no way that I was going to be able to get this thing together without his help. So we have an encoder here, made us a custom harness. I believe that he even got a hold of the guys over at Avidyne. They hooked us up with some extra cages. And I'll tell you what, Ron has been so cool. Reached out to him, no problem, said he'd take care of it. And ever since I called him the other day, he's been checking up, making sure this got here, and just been a big help. And he even gave us our own rebuild rescue harness. That is so cool. Yeah, so now we got a couple grounds, we got a couple powers. It's for our encoder. This is all we need for our headset. So we'll go ahead and add a push to talk, and we'll probably add it right on the panel under the unit. It'll be good to go. So since Ron built such a nice wiring harness, this is gonna make it so much easier. I'm gonna go ahead, here's one of the old mounts for the Avionics that was in the Cougar. I'm gonna go ahead out of this scrap piece of aluminum. It's a little thicker, which will be nice. And I'm gonna go ahead and build a strap that'll go on the left side and the right side of these cages. They'll get screwed in, and then there'll be a spot for them to screw in to what's there now, and it'll get these in there and secure and good to go. That feels good. Yeah, that one feels real good. Flaps down. All right, that works. Flaps back up. Nice, good working flaps.
Yeah, carburetor, it's got a little leak going on.
Yeah, it went to come underneath it and it was dripping on me.
So we'll wipe it off and see if we can see where it's all coming from.
One screw's got to be a pain. Anything that comes off, especially on a plane that we haven't had looked at before and we don't know the history of it, so you got to take as much apart as you can so you can visually inspect and do a proper annual.
Clear rudder.
It's coming right for me. Hey now.
You find anything behind the?
No, actually everything looked pretty good in there. Still, just like the other side, it's nice and primed up and protected from any corrosion, and actually looks really good.
What are you looking for in there?
Jimmy Hoffa. Any kind of cracks or you know, nest, mice.
Trying to get my AMP hours in, you know?
Yeah. It's just maybe do a little, this right here is the one for the sending unit. It's got a little jam nut, he's tightened up. I just flagged it and kept going. And then on the other side, there's a little flag for one for a little bit of corrosion. It's not bad, it's just surface. It might be nice to spray a little bit of corrosion X or something on it just to kind of, because they don't have anything on it.
All right, so we got the tray mount in here. We fabbed it up. This thing is really strong. Got a nice bend in it to keep it firm. And of course, this mount here was already here. This thing's pretty strong. So it's going to be a good place to mount all those Avionics. Although they're only staying in temporarily, we are following 337s, but it's looking good. So this is the first time I'm doing any Avionics stuff. Brian has been really good showing me exactly what to do, and yeah, we're getting it figured out. So hopefully in a bit here, I can put the stack in, get the wires all together, and we'll be good to go.
We're gonna get gear up. Hopefully everything works smoothly after 3-ish years, I hear, so it's a big moment here, so let's get to it.
Are we up?
Yeah, how's the flight, Jason?
Nice. It was a little choppy, there was a little bit of turbulence, I was getting a little nervous.
When you can see the flat spot, you know you got a good one.
Everybody's clear. Gear's going up. Gear's coming down. Oh, that thing sounds pretty healthy. All the lights worked. How about the bring them up and do the emergency pull down? I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull the breaker. Breaker's pulled. I'm gonna pull the emergency gear down knob. Y'all ready? I'm gonna push that back in. I'm gonna move the knob down to the down position, which it is. Now I'm gonna power it up. Everything is good in the neighborhood. You guys saw the gear, it reacted perfectly. Actually, it sounded like perfect. So good to go. All the emergency stuff worked. We have one bulb out, flaps worked, all the buzzers and everything that we need to work in here, they're working. I was really worried about that because if there's one thing that was gonna ruin this whole trip was a gear problem, but we're good to go. We've come to the end of day 5. And as you guys can see, the Cougar, well, it's not flying. So we weren't able to, we weren't able to get it flying, and we actually found a bunch of different things that are gonna need addressed that we weren't aware of. So we have a brake master cylinder. We are gonna need, we have a good battery now, we're gonna need a battery, but the big one is Joe crawled under this left engine to work on the wing panels, and he got dripped in the face with some gas, and the carburetor is leaking, so we're going to have to pull that carburetor off, and we're going to have to send it out for overhaul. So it puts us behind a bunch. So we have so many projects, we have the 401 and other stuff going on, so it makes it really tough. I don't know when we're going to be able to get back here. And I don't know, I mean, all that stuff is gonna hit our budget pretty hard. We've come so far, but we've completely blown through our budget, and we have more work to get done. As it looks, we'll be upside down on this one, but we're not giving up. We'll be back to get this Cougar flying soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.